real life.
Talk about the development of the story. If you could, did you start off with wanting to make a film about this couple, and then it grew from there? And how did elements like Hugo come into the story?
Well, we wanted to do a movie for her, and we are very friends of them. So we used to go to take some drinks with them because they are very different from the couple. You know, they are like
they're super lively. Yeah, they're super. I mean, they're super lively people. I worked with them in my first movie. We fall in love with them. He's really fun to all people.
Yeah, I love this issue.
Yeah, we decided to make a film. We thought of a documentary at the beginning because it's seriously a legendary couple in Chile.
She was an actress, wasn't she?
She's been doing experimental theater from the very beginning. She's very well known in South America, and some theater savvies know about her too around the world. And she's just a very sweet, wise person, and he is too, and we wanted to make something with them.
And we started to discover the story really in this same apartment, you know, with the cats, with the thing about the elevator. So we started to invent this story because of this.
Yeah.
And Hugo.
Well, Hugo, that's kind of random. She was the maid in The Maid, and she was in my previous film, and she's a very, she's a hard-working actress. She's always working in Chile, and we've known her since ever. And she's really an exceptional actress, so we wanted to work with her. And Rosario was supposed to have a male companion, and then we're like, I don't even know if maybe it was named Hugo, or like, just use Catalina. We'll name her Hugo. You know? Let's use Catalina. And it worked really well, you know, because for them to be a lesbian couple, and it just made the bridges even, like, you know, for her, like, she is 92 years old, the actress.
In the movie, she's 80.
She plays an 80-year-old. And yeah, it just added to the story, and I really like how we purposely didn't give the homosexual relationship any major.
This was very important for the movie, that these kind of discussions were a lot of time ago, you know. This discussion in the movie, there are the remains of discussions, the remains of issues.
Yeah, the fact that the daughter is homosexual and the little lady doesn't want to call her Hugo, she's just like fighting for a loss, like, who cares? It's like it's not a subject. We're already past that. Yeah.
And once you had your script, was there a lot of play on the set, a lot of improvisation? Did you really pretty much stick with what was written?
No, it was. We like to get on set with a full-length screenplay. You know, I'm a fan of improvisation, and I love when actors give you feedback or new ideas. And in this case, Belgica and Alejandro are from a total different generation of actors, so they were not ready to improvise. They could never improvise. You would tell them, just be mean to her. Like, we were rushing, and she was like, my lines, too. What are you talking about? and Catalina and Claudia, they're like 42, 44, really good friends, pajama party kind of friends, you know. And so they would just do whatever it was required, you know. They had lines too, but yeah, they could improvise. I like improvisation.
It was different. We used, for example, the first takes of Claudia and the fifth take of Belgica always, because she had to, to put his head
get into the role or
rehearse. Yeah, to rehearse. So there's really not. We are using a lot of different,
directing styles. Directing styles. It was working for two different generations of actors, so acting, directing was kind of hard.
The most interesting difference between the movies is that in The Maid we try to show that you can change or improve your life anytime, You always have time to do it. But in this movie, we started with an answer, really, with a question. What happens if there is no time? Really? Maybe it's too late,
Yeah, we're talking with Pedro when Belgica is going down the stairs chasing for her daughter. Maybe she wanted to try to solve her emotional issues with her daughter like 4 years before. She could have run down the stairs and grabbed her and but now she just physically cannot do that. She cannot run down the stair. She won't remember what she was going to say. Even the memories that she does, it's just life is not allowing her to overcome her emotional problems.
This is frightening.
Yeah, it's frightening, but it is so human and yeah,
And possible.
It's possible for most
It's a
of
possibility.
people. Like, not everybody dies solving all their problems. Most of them go to the next place with the same baggage. Right?
See, all the way in the back there, yes. Right, yes, sir.
The bees, did you find them or did you invent them?
Did you find the bees
How
or
could
did you
you
invent
possibly find those bees? Like, where is that beehive? No, we created them. We actually hired a clothing fashion friend. The direction was just make like catwalk bees, like, you know, fashion looking bees. And we just needed something that was extremely colorful, and that's why it's almost fluorescent yellow, orange, red, black against green.
Very different from the other colors in the movie.
Exactly. The colors of the movie are really pastel, and the palette is really specific. And those colors, just like those colors, and Hugo's T-shirt. Yeah, that was the only like bright elements.
And we wanted this feeling from you, you know, that what are these guys doing with these guys in costume? They want me to believe that she's
Yeah, exactly.
watching
It's
this.
like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
CGI.
That's
Not
kind of
worth it.
effective.
That's not a good hallucination. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Isidore seemed to find the running water triggered her memory lapses, and I was just wondering if she was trying to recollect an incident from her childhood.
The running water in the fountain seems to trigger the memory of Isadora, and was just wondering, did you want to use that as a metaphor that somehow it triggered this memory lapse from her childhood?
I never thought of that. No, seriously, I never did. I mean,
But water is
thing about
actually a
it.
theme that runs through
Yeah,
the film.
yeah, but we don't know why, really. The water started to appear in every page of the
Yeah, it was really
script
spontaneous.
accidentally.
Yeah, and the big, like, miraculous coincidence about water, it's a good question because she was actually very traumatized. She had a deep trauma with water, the actress, her father.
We didn't know.
Yeah, we had no idea. Her father threw her on a river to teach her how to swim, and she almost drowned. And so she had this trauma, and she had read the script, and she had mentioned anything to us. And then every time that there's water in the movie, her mind just goes different places. I think water, we were talking about last night about that water is so chaotic, and it always needs to be contained somewhere, otherwise it just would...
But it's ordered too, you know.
Yeah.
It's ordered in this chaos, you know. I don't know. Maybe it is. It's only an explanation after doing the movie.
Yeah, it's actually an aftertaste of a simple story. I think that, for me, it happens to me a lot with The Maid and my previous film, and I think the films that we would write together, it's always more about the simplicity of events. It's really portraying what we've been through, but it's not a deep search of symbolic references.
There are, obvious, but
Of course, how could you possibly avoid them? But that's not the origin of our inspiration.
Yes, ma'am.
Will Enrique allow her
Will Enrique allow her to
to sign the contract?
sign that contract? What happens 1 hour after the movie's over?
All cats too.
Older cats.
Older, fatter cats. Wow, that's a good question.
I think he will.
Yeah, I think you will
Because
too.
I think that, you know, that she doesn't have to live there, you know. So Rosario is right, you know, because of the elevator, all the things, you know. So I think that that's the point of the movie, you know, that she's very mean, but she's, I don't know, maybe the old lady is too old to live there.
And she cannot go down the stairs, and the elevator breaks every other week. So, yeah, Rosario is right, and I never thought of that.
Yeah, I realize this now. It's like she's the hero of the movie.
Yes, ma'am.
How come you decided to, or
Why did you decide to make the character of the mother a bad mother, someone who really hadn't been good and nurturing?
Yeah, to be honest, I think there's not such a thing as a bad mother or a good mother, and I think they're trapped into those.
Maybe John Crawford, but
But yeah, that's how I feel. I mean, she was neglectful and but it also depends on the expectation that the daughter would have towards her mother. Maybe she was, you can tell that Rosario has much more guilt and she thinks of herself. I don't know. When she's like, "I'm not a thief. I'm not a whore." It's like, who said you were a whore? It's like it's totally absurd that she would bring that up. Nobody has said anything about that. So she thinks very, how do you say that? Like low of her.
She has a bad opinion.
Bad opinion of herself.
maybe she was not a bad mother, but she was not good.
Exactly. She was. I mean,
But
in
it's
mothers, they
different.
always have a
It's
guilt.
difficult, and she was very different from her daughter from the beginning. I think so. She noticed this.
They just never, I guess they never connected.
Yeah.
That's possible.
Time for a couple more. Yes, sir.
Earlier in the festival, we saw a very Chilean movie called Postmortem. What in this movie do you think is peculiarly Chilean for you?
Fury said that earlier in the festival he saw Pablo Larraín's Postmortem, and was wondering, is there anything, he felt that film was a very Chilean film dealing with a specific political situation. What would you say is very Chilean about your film?
The broken elevator.
I think that is, I don't know, it's like other Chile. It's more like our, I don't know, class. It's not, it is political in another way, I think that maybe it is more universal only because there's all ladies evil daughters everywhere. But it's very Chilean,
I mean, it's Chilean. It's humans that were born in Chile, basically.
Yeah, that's the point.
Like humans that were born in Chile and they go to these emotional struggles, but there's really nothing specific about Chile and Chilean societies. Yeah, it's pretty universal. We're talking about the influences or the things that we relate a movie after and before. And we mentioned Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf and Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. So yeah, there's really nothing Chilean about those references, but yet those are kind of like the closest things, right?
Yeah, we prefer, I think, human stories only. I don't know, like Mike Lee, we talked about this last night. We love him, of course. And John Cassavetes is like God. He's not a director at all.
Yes, going back there.
Will your film be distributed in the United States?
Will the film be distributed in the United States?
Well, it better be, Kim and Dave.
The answer is yes. And
Yeah, the answer is yes. Elephant Eye are the producers. Kim and Dave are sitting here. Thank you. And yeah, it would be distributed March. March is our month, so tell your peeps, Twitter about it.
Okay, one more. Right over here, ma'am.
Are you working on another film?
Do you have plans for next film already?
Yeah, I'm just wrapping a comedy web series called The Boring Life of Jacqueline. And it's about Jacqueline and her boring life. And then, yeah, there is a film that is called Second Child. It's about a 8-year-old homosexual kid that falls in love with his godfather and then with someone else and then with something else. And it's just a kid in search of affection and trying to figure out what he's feeling. He's not aware of his condition, but he's, I guess, if social-wise, it would be early homosexuality, the subject.
I am, I don't know, doing 2 treatments for 2 movies, now, but I am focusing now in a comic book, like a graphic novel. Yeah, that is named the Lost Toys Club for Gentlemen and Some Ladies.
Well, we look forward to all your projects and to having you
Thank
back
you,
here at
guys.
the New York Film
Thank
Festival.
you.
Thank you very much for coming.